Hi, my name is Heather Feather. I am the owner of Rare Bird Medicine. Today I wanted to talk about the bottom line. What is the bottom line? Well, in my heart, in my mind, the bottom line comes down to frequency. It comes down to vibration. It comes down to the offering that we're giving, either being based in natural, neutral love. Love, I believe, is our natural and neutral state, or fear, false evidence appearing real. And once you introduce from the singular natural neutral state of love, once you introduce another option other than the singular natural neutral state, like fear, it actually can polarize love and fear. And now you have good love and bad fear. Now you have right and you have wrong, right and wrong. And the challenge with right and wrong is there's no room for love in those options. There's no room for love in right or wrong. Love is not good. It's just the natural response. How do we know it's the natural response? Why should a human want to be good? What is the motivation to be good? Because it always feels better. So if experience is the teacher that lets me know I can ride a bike, if experience is the teacher that lets me know that I can swim without drowning, then experience is the same teacher that can let me know whether the choice of love or the choice of fear serves me. I mean, from a completely selfish standpoint, love pays in liquid gold dividends again and again and again and again. And I'm talking about real love, not conditional love, where we have expectation of result and then get disappointed. That wasn't love to begin with. That was some, selfish offering where it's like, ooh, I'll be validated if this other person does this or that, or I won't be validated if they don't reply. So I just mean true, generous love that I've ever given through my spirit from a space of just unconditionally offering love in this realm. It's always felt better. It's always given me more, even if the other person is in a space where they're so committed and addicted to suffering or fear or pain or consciousness on that, and they are reactive when I offer them love. I still always am like, yeah, I think I made the right choice in that moment. I still feel like, that was great, but there can be so much attachment to not only the way others respond, but to the way others hold the world. I am not in control of the people that are pro-life being pro-life, for example. And I am not right about being pro-choice. I myself have never been pregnant. I've never had an abortion. If I ever got pregnant, I would be thrilled to the moon and beyond and back. I've always wanted to have a child. I do have great concern for all the women that were talked out of having abortions that now have a child somewhere in a foster care system in which they're being abused, or they're living in an orphanage where they're not getting any attention. And there are just all these children scattered everywhere that it's just like, well, we got them here. We made sure they weren't aborted, but now they're not our problem. It's like, okay, that's that can get me into judgment and get me to be separate from the vibration and the frequency called love. And it is my intent. I would rather be loving than be right. And that's the tricky thing about the bottom line. The bottom line is your ego will tell you if you're right, you win. You should be right. Be a winner. Be like me. I'm the ego. I'm right and I'm winning. And anything that is a win-lose game is not a game really worthy of one's attention. That's the bottom line of it. If it's going to get you into a scenario that is going to be about you getting to be right and someone else getting to be wrong, we can be certain that the place that we find ourselves is not one of love. Love does not ask for agreement with opinion. Love does not ask for agreement with opinion. And love is not super righteous. You know, there have been people, I'm on a cool dating site called Meet Mindful. And I like it because a lot of the modern day dating sites are like, you know, filter through people more quickly than you would filter through picking up a grocery item at the store. Like, I'll read ingredients on a grocery item and spend more time than the current dating sites want me to spend selecting someone that I might be interested in as a lover. Like, that's a little nutty to me, to each their own. But, you know, I love it that we're such a diverse culture. All the options are there. But Meet Mindful is really designed for you to go much slower. And I met someone on there that I found interesting, a very creative soul, neat guy when I met him, neat guy to this day. But we connected and he watched some of my videos and was like, we're not a match. And I thought, oh man, are you correct? Oh, wowzers, are you correct? Because someone that can watch a few videos of me and just be like, oh, we don't agree, therefore there's no alignment, it's definitely not a match to me. I don't want a world that is not diverse. I don't want a world of 7.8 billion Heathers. I would be so bored. I would be so bored. It would be such a spazzy world. My double fire sign set just be running around like chickens with our heads cut off down here. I am grateful that life gives me so much opportunity to step back from my righteousness, to step back from my judgment, to step back and take pause and take a moment. All my beautiful earth teachers, to take a moment and be like, wait a minute. I think I'm caught up in right and wrong again. Wait a minute, I think I got stuck in polarity here. And the only way I've ever found to come out of polarity is to get back to singularity or to go to a trinity. And one of the ways we can get back to singularity is to just be loving, to choose love. Now, love doesn't mean that that everyone has to be in your circle. When I was younger, I loved all people. I loved all animals. I loved all plants. I loved all of everything. I love it all. I love it all. 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 Not that I wasn't a fussy child, because I had lots of anger issues for sure. I mean, double fire sign. But I can say that, like, I had just great love for all of it. And to this day, that is still very much my mission, with the awareness that sometimes loving from a distance is the best way to love, because someone who is choosing to be in a lot of judgment, a lot of righteousness, a lot of correction, a lot of don't be this or don't be that, or do be like me and don't be like you, and blah, 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 and a lot of dictatorship of how the world should operate. I've learned that those aren't really the people that I want in the garden of my life. I'm glad they're on the earth, because they constantly teach me what I don't want to do. Like, thank you. I don't want to be that way. Thank you. Thank you. And I can love them exactly as they are. They don't need to be like me. If you're real fear-based and you're real judgmental and you're real into correcting others and you're real into just thinking about how the rest of the world needs to be like you, cool. I love that the world is so diverse and there's so many options, but I don't necessarily want you in my garden. I can say, like, this is the garden of my life and these are the people that I want to spend time and attention with, and I bless you away from me. Yes, glad you're on the earth. Go be on the earth over there, or I'll go dance this way if you need to stand there. So I've just given myself more freedom to make sure that I'm choosing with my life an environment of people that are more concentrated on what I consider to be the bottom line of choosing love. And that means kind of across the board. And that means me checking in with myself. Am I choosing love? Am I allowing people to be where they are in their evolution and their growth edge? Am I asking for everyone to agree with me, to everyone get on program with me? Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. Yeah, there are ways in which I do that. And it really doesn't work, because I'm not the steward of others. I'm not now. I never have been. Sometimes I think I'm the steward of my cats, but they're very clear that I'm not. Ashtar and Salusa love to let me know, like, Nice try, lady, but we are definitely boss cats. So I'm like, that's cute. That's, yeah. So, and they are. They are. They are running the show over here, okay? But I gotta say that the bottom line for me always comes down to frequency. I watch tons of quote unquote liberal people that believe that they are very much an advocate for the people speak ill of conservative people. That's not very liberal of you, by the way. It's not very liberal of you to need the entire world to agree with you. It's not very open. It's closed. So for me, it always, and I'm not here I'm not trying to judge that. It's difficult to talk about something without looking at it and describing it. But what I would say is, like, each little thing to me comes down to frequency. So if I walk into a conversation and that conversation is in the frequency of correcting, of judging, of false evidence appearing real, of, oh God, until we take care of this, everything's a nightmare. That energy and that frequency is based in fear. And I don't choose that as my God. I don't choose that as the foundation of my consciousness. Do I have fear? Do I have judgment? Yes. And the bottom line I ask with myself and of myself every day is, how can I step out of that when I step into it? Because this is the place that I'm the commander of. This is what I'm the dictator of. This is what I'm the director of, is Heather Mackey's physical body, Heather Mackey's consciousness, Heather Mackey's thoughts, Heather Mackey's heart, her belief matrix, who she chooses to be, how she chooses to walk in the world. I am 100% the steward of that. And I think we all can agree it's a big enough job to just keep up with me. That's a big enough job. Like, being an OCD person that can clean the house or the kitchen 5 times a day, or being like, which I am, and being somebody that wants to do yoga and stay fit and be healthy, and being someone that wants to cook at home more and loves to put love into my food and attention into my food, and being somebody that wants to practice really good self-care and making sure I'm having, bubble baths and taking care of my skin and taking care of my teeth, and being somebody that also wants to deeply study shamanism and plant medicine knowledge, and being somebody that wants to create classes and offerings at a reasonable price so that people can grow with me on topics that I feel like evolve my being, and I can share community with like minds. All of that, such a big job. Such a big job. And it's such an easy choice down here to self-destruct, because I think a lot of times, obviously the natural choice always is the healthy choice, is the choice that serves wellness, is the choice that serves. So that means be loving, be kind, be nice to yourself, eat well, be mindful, don't litter, be ecologically smart, be, tend to your relationships, be aware of what you say, all of this. That's so many things to keep track of. It's so many things to keep track of. Who has time to sit out there and correct someone else's evolution and be like, if that group would just evolve? It's like, I don't have time to mess around with what y'all are doing. I have all day, every day to mess around with what I'm doing, because I'm with me every breath, because I'm actually making the choices for how I walk through my day. So the bottom line for me, and the bottom line every day, all day long, on any topic that I ever talk about or sing about in a song, the bottom line always comes down to, what is the frequency I choose? Am I choosing love with myself? Love is compassionate, love is forgiving, love is kind, love is understanding, love is willing to walk a mile in another person's shoes, love is willing to be to tend and take care of that which serves you. So the bottom line I wanted to remind myself of, and offer all of us to think about today, is, are you being loving kind in the way you show up? Are you being loving kind to you? That's the biggest one to tend to. And are you being loving kind and allowing the rest of the world to grow in its own way and to make its own choices each day? May you choose love as often and as easily as you possibly can. So mote it be.